Hi, and thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about applying mindfulness to upset. This is the most important part of this practice, and it is the key and fundamental thing that will make the biggest difference. When we apply mindfulness to our day-to-day life and to the upsets that arise in our day-to-day life, we become more responsive. And we begin to really take apart our constructs of good and bad. We look at things through a different lens, a lens that's a little bit more clear, and we start to meet ourselves and others from the seat of compassion rather than the seat of judgment. When we apply mindfulness to our upsets, it looks something like this. Let's say that there's an upset in my life. Let's take a look at an example of an upset. You're scrolling through social media on a Saturday afternoon, and you see a picture of all of your best friends at brunch. The first thing that pops into your head is the fact that they didn't invite you. You didn't receive any text from them, and nobody told you that they were going to do that thing. And so immediately you feel hurt. In this particular experience, we can apply mindfulness to redirect that hurt and apply compassion to the misunderstanding. We pull back and we see the picture. My best friends are at a restaurant having brunch and I didn't get invited, but I don't entirely know why. Instead of buying into the idea that I'm not worthy, I can recognize the messenger and emotion of I'm unworthy. It makes me feel less than and disconnected. I can forgive myself for buying into the idea that I am less than or disconnected. I know that's not true. I know my best friends love me. And I know sometimes they like to do things that maybe I don't like to do. Perhaps there was a perception that I would be working, or perhaps there was a perception that I wouldn't want to go to that particular restaurant. Really, it doesn't matter. I'm not clairvoyant and I don't understand why it happened, but I can forgive myself for buying into the idea that I'm less than, undesirable, or disconnected because those things aren't true. Now, what if I really want to say something to my friends? I want to communicate to my friends so that I don't feel dis-ease in the future. I can do that simply by saying to my friend that I felt left out, but I understand that it didn't have anything to do with me. Now, your friend might be a little bit taken back by such honest and direct communication. But when we are really working with our material, it has nothing to do with the friend. The friend didn't do anything wrong. The group of friends didn't do anything wrong. An action affected our unconscious material. Our insecurities were activated. And that's okay. We recognized it. We forgave ourselves. But we also asserted our boundaries and let our friend know that that really hurt our feelings. This is real interdependent communication. A lot of people aren't ready for this type of communication, but when you're doing your work, your resonance will affect other people's energy. And they too will become more mindful and more aware of what they're doing and how it might make other people feel. We certainly don't need to live our lives in fear of hurting someone's feelings or making someone feel disconnected or less than. But when we are living from a mindful, compassionate place, we are aware that everyone has a different perspective and a different story around that perspective. We become more compassionate with ourselves and others, and we can see that miscommunication leads to upset. Next time you feel upset in your life, apply the principles of mindfulness. Notice which messenger has arrived. Notice which messenger is there. Is it disconnected, unworthy, incomplete, less than, bound in some way by time or space? Forgive yourself for buying into these misunderstandings. The truth is, no matter what, you're not ever going to be disconnected from your friends, even if you're not feeling connected. You're always connected. You're always complete, perfect and whole just as you are. This was an opportunity to work with some of those unconscious insecurities that limit you and hold you back from living in your authentic truth. Using the tools of mindfulness helps us to come back, be present, be aware, and challenge some of these belief systems that have been perpetuating patterns in our life for decades. I hope you found this video helpful. Be well.